What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And guys, we are coming up on the 5-year anniversary of the Friday the 13th Scream Factory Shout Factory box set. This came out back in October of 2020. My goodness, look, that was a different time, wasn't it? That was a different, well, it was a different time in the world, pandemic going on and everything. But it was just a different time for like physical media, YouTube physical media. Like I was just getting into that back then. I had just started the physical media report. I think around this time, it was probably June or July. They had announced this set. I remember doing the physical media report and announcing the Friday the 13th box set. It was super exciting. Like if you were not like super big into collecting when this came out, you just don't understand like the hype around this. I still think to this day it's the most hyped piece of physical media that I've ever been a part of since I've started collecting. So definitely a groundbreaking landmark piece of physical media, and nobody will ever be able to take that away from the Friday the 13th box set. But we've gotten several releases since this came out. Friday the 13th releases, most notably, or most recently, we got the Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell. I did that wrong. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X 4Ks from Arrow Video. Then last year, we got the Friday the 13th 4K, the remake. We've gotten Friday 2 on 4K. We've gotten the original Friday the 13th on 4K from Paramount. We've gotten a bunch of steelbooks. So today, guys, I just wanted to kind of go through everything, maybe go through all the discs here that are present, and just examine the relevancy of the Friday the 13th Scream Factory box set in 2025. Because I feel like with some of these releases, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's making this like completely out of date or completely irrelevant, because it's not. We'll get into it. There's a lot of stuff that this still has that's not available anywhere else. But I do feel like some of these releases that have come out have kind of made this release feel just a little bit less important, just a little bit less must own, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, guys, before we get into it though, this is going to be a fun video, I think. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, guys, Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all this stuff that are behind me every single day. If you like the kind of stuff, the kind of content, hit that subscribe button, and then comment down below, guys. What do you think? Is this still worth getting in 2025? When you take a look at all the other releases that are out. And the thing that really, like, I guess inspired me, well, I mean, the Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell releases inspired me as well, but this set, guys, the other day I woke up, and I wake up pretty early now. It's about 4:45. I'm up. I noticed on Blu-ray.com, the Friday the 13th box set is going for $50. I think it was like $50.99. I posted that deal in my community tab, and then I think like 2 or 3 hours later, understandably so. I mean, this is the Friday the 13th box set going for $50 on Amazon. It was not available anymore. I remember people in the comments saying, I think people didn't believe me that it was actually on sale for $50. But it was for like 2 hours. This thing was on sale for $50, and it got me thinking. I'm like, okay, well, is this not selling well? Well, first off, it's kind of a miracle, like especially this day and age of physical media, that the thing is still in print. I mean, this is the type of thing that you would get in like, 2 months later, it'd be out of print. Nobody could get it anymore. I mean, that Halloween box set back in the day, I never owned it because I really wasn't collecting like I am now back in 2014 when that thing came out. So I never got that, but I'm pretty sure that one went out of print like really quick. But the fact that this is still in stock, that you can still buy this, that somebody bought this off of Amazon. Let me know if you were one of those people in the comment section for $50.99, like is honestly incredible. It's honestly incredible. But it got me thinking, I'm like, well, is this not selling very well anymore? Did they have a surplus of this in stock? Because that's usually what happens. That usually why they put stuff, like they mark stuff down to be like super cheap like that. They're trying to push and move stock. Right. So it got me thinking, I'm like, well, is this just not selling that well anymore? Is that why they did that? And then it got me thinking about the relevancy of the box set. Like who's actually looking for this right now in 2020 that didn't get it, or right now in 2025 that didn't get it back in 2020? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, who still like doesn't have this, like is still on the fence about getting this? Because in my mind, it's like everybody that would buy this would have already bought this by now. I mean, it's been 5 years since it's been out. But I can totally see some people that just like, yeah, those movies. I'm not going to pay $100, $130. It's going for 130 right now. I paid 170 when it came out from the Scream Factory website. But I can see people being like, those movies aren't worth it. But goes down to $50. That kind of changes. That kind of changes everything. That changes your outlook. That changes your mindset on whether or not you're going to purchase this or not. But yeah, guys, that super exciting release though when it came out. I think we can all agree with that. And I was still rocking this DVD set from Crystal Lake to Manhattan, and I'm a lifelong, Friday the 13th fan. I've been watching these films since I was like 8, 9 years old. I've got like 6 or 7 of them on VHS still. But I got this, I think, in 2004 is when this came out, or maybe it was 2005 for like the 25th anniversary. I can't quite remember. But it was a while ago, and I was rocking this one all the way until 2020, and I still have my VHS of Jason Goes to Hell. I had a DVD of Jason X, and I had a DVD of Freddy versus Jason, and I didn't own the remake at all because I wasn't a huge fan when I saw that in theaters. I really enjoy it now. I reviewed that last year, so you can go check out my thoughts. But yeah, I was still kind of rocking this. This was all that I had until this was announced. And when this was announced, just all the movies in one spot. I think I owned Friday Part 2 on Blu-ray, maybe Part 1 on Blu-ray, but I've since gotten rid of those. But when this was announced, this was like a no-brainer. It's like all the movies in one set, like the New Line ones, the Paramount ones, all together. Like that's kind of unheard of because you got different studios and different companies that own these movies. Just getting into like, examining, I'm going to go through movie by movie and we're going to look at like the features and the stuff that's included in the Screen Factory set versus what's available in other sets. And I think it's kind of interesting when you really dive into it. And some of these I don't have that we're going to reference here because there was an 8 movie set that came out a couple of years ago that I'm going to talk about. But just getting into Friday the 13th. The first Friday the 13th. Should I take the Screen Factory edition out? And all these got reversible cover art, and no release that's come out since has the reversible cover art. But Friday the 13th, the big thing with this one and the first 4 really is they were all new 4K scans. So the first 4 were brand new 4K scans. So that was different with the Screen Factory set versus what had been put out before by Paramount. So Friday the 13th and this one had the uncut version and it had the theatrical version. And I think in this set, or in this case, you have both the theatrical version and the uncut version. So you have 2 discs in here. Now, before the 4K, they put out a steelbook. And I thought that I had heard that these steelbooks that were being put out were also the 4K scans. I don't think that's the case. I was doing a little research beforehand, and I do not think that's the case. I don't think that these that were put out were the new 4K scans. I think these were the ones that were put out from Paramount before the Screen Factory set came out. So somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's the case. Now, the 8 movie set that came out, I think in 2022 and 2023, the Paramount set of the first 8 movies, the Paramount movies, the first 4 were the 4K scans. Those were the new remasters. And then the 5, 6, 7, 8 were the same that they had always been because they didn't do any additional work to those. And I wish that they would with those, especially like Jason Lives. That's like, that one needs a 4K, like almost before any of the other ones do. Like that one's so like visually stunning. Like that one absolutely needs a 4K. But this one does say uncut on it. So I wonder if this is just the uncut version on the Blu-ray. To be honest, I haven't watched this disc. I bought it because I just liked the steelbook and I wanted it. And I collect Friday the 13th if there's some cool steelbooks involved and, collectibles and things like that. But yeah, I don't think that this was a new scan. I think this is the same one that Paramount did probably back in 2009, 2013 when the 10 set came out, sometime around that range. But in 2022, we got the 4K. So automatically you have a picture quality upgrade. Now, there were a lot of people that when this came out, they're like, I prefer my Screen Factory because this is just too dark. I don't like the way that this looks with the HDR. Me, myself, I'm kind of a fan. I've talked about this before. I reviewed this on the channel. I'm a fan of the Friday the 13th 4K. To me, I like the picture quality, the image quality better on this 4K than I do the Shout Factory Screen Factory version. This one's just a little bit too saturated for this particular movie. I think some of the sequels it works, but for this movie in particular, I like the more darker aesthetic that this 4K provides. So yeah, that's the first one. You have the uncut, you have the theatrical version on the Shout Factory disc, and I think in the 4K you also have that as well. This one does have both the uncut and the theatrical version. And I think this one only has a 4K in it, and it's probably, you know, like seamless branching or something that they're utilizing there. But this one does have both the uncut and the theatrical, because you can see it on the back. They got the 2 different times at the bottom right there. But yeah, to me, this was an upgrade over the Screen Factory. So this one I'll give to Paramount in the new release over the Screen Factory edition right here. So next up, guys, we've got my favorites of the franchise, Friday the 13th Part 2, which is also a 4K scan. And this one also got a nice steelbook, I think a couple of years later. And I was under the impression that all these steelbooks were the new 4K scans. I don't believe that's the case, having done a little research on Blu-ray.com and checking out some of the reviews and stuff. I don't think that's the case, but this is a great steelbook. I mean, you're doomed, you're all doomed. That's the main reason I collected these steelbooks, just for the quotes on the back. But I will say that the Friday the 13th Part 2 does have new features. There's a new interview with the actress Amy Steele that plays Jenny in this movie that is on this. And there's also a couple of new audio commentaries that I don't think is present in this steelbook right here. So this is something that the Screen Factory has over the steelbook version. And also, I'm getting all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. Also, the 4K that came out in the Paramount Scares box set Volume 2, the 4K, which is exclusive to that box set. So pretty much, guys, you got to buy a box set to get the 4K scan Friday the 13th Part 2 from Screen Factory. You got to buy a box set to get the 4K as well. They still have not released this individually in the US. It is overseas, I believe. But well, I mean, you can get the 8 film set, the one that came out back in 2022, 2023, and that has the 4K scan on the Blu-ray, but it does not have the new features, and neither did this 4K. So in this particular case, I think that the Screen Factory box set is still relevant with it when it comes to Friday the 13th Part 2, because it has that new special feature with Amy Steele and also the new audio commentaries. Now we can get into Friday the 13th Part 3D, guys. So this one included the regular version of the movie, and it included the 3D. I don't know if it was a different disc or not. I don't think it was, but this one does have the 3D version. I do not believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, and they might in the comment section, but I don't believe that this version has the 3D on it. I don't think it does. And this one does not have a 4K. And like I said, I don't think this is a 4K scan either, but it is available in that 8 film Blu-ray set. Next up, guys, we got to start rushing through this, or this video is going to be like 2 hours long. Next up, we got the final chapter right here, guys. Oh, and going back to Part 3, I don't know if there were any new features on that one that were exclusive to that film. No, I don't think there was. And there was no features with this one as well that was exclusive to this particular movie. But the final chapter, like we definitely need 4Ks for 3 and 4. And the fact that all 4 of these are 4K scans, like it kind of feels like a no-brainer that we will get these at some point, probably from Paramount, I would expect. But the final chapter, new 4K scan, no 4K at all, but we did get a steelbook right here that I think was the same Blu-ray that came out back in the day. But that's the original 4, guys. Let's get into some of the other ones. Let's talk about Part 5. So Part 5, Part 6, Part 7, and Part 8, which is one of my favorites as well, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, the selling point with these is you have a new audio commentary on here on Part 5. You got a new audio commentary on Jason Lives, and you got new features. I think, I want to say featuring Alice Cooper, but that's on another disc. I got to scroll down here to the bonus discs. But yeah, you have a new Alice Lives, Alice Cooper, and Friday the 13th Part 6. A look at the music video, The Man Behind the Mask, featuring interviews with Alice Cooper and director Jeffrey Albertson. So yeah, and then you got New Legends Never Die, Tom McLaughlin at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So you got quite a few new features that are just centered around Jason Lives, and that is not available anywhere else. So just like Friday 2, that's not available anywhere else, some of these new features. And then scrolling back up to Jason Takes Manhattan, there's really nothing new there, and there's nothing new on the New Blood except for a new restored stereo track. So that's the new thing with those two. But you do have a significant amount of special features for Jason Lives that you can only get in this Screen Factory box set. Now let's get into the New Line films, and this is where I find that the Screen Factory box set takes the biggest hits. because you've had Arrow Video swoop in and do 3 of these, and they're most likely going to be doing Freddy versus Jason at some point. And when that happens, I think the 4 films in this box set become completely irrelevant. So getting into Jason Goes to Hell, guys, the 9th installment, the final Friday. Of course, we just got the 4K of Jason Goes to Hell. And this Screen Factory version, it was a new scan. It was a new 2K scan. It was not a new 4K scan. It was a new 2K scan of the inner positive. This was a new 4K restoration of the 35 millimeter original camera negative. So automatically the picture quality here, I think, in my opinion, kind of blows this one out of the water. But this one had excellent special features on it with Adam Marcus. That's about, I think, 35 to 40 minutes long. It's got, let's see, yeah, Jason versus the Terminator, Adam Marcus on growing up with the Cunninghams. It's got great interviews. It's got one with Kane Hodder as well, which is a great interview. But the thing is, this Arrow Video version has all that stuff as well. So it's new. It's a new, restoration, better picture quality. It's got all the same special features, and it adds new special features. There are, I think, 3 brand new special features in this release and a new audio commentary on top of the audio commentaries that were on this release as well. So this has all the stuff that this has, plus 3 brand new special features, picture quality that blows this out of the water. So this is a clear winner to me when it comes to Jason Goes to Hell. Now getting into the next one, you got Jason X right here, guys. Pretty much the exact same thing. This had, so I think this had a making of documentary, which is great at the time for the Screen Factory set. A making of documentary making Jason X. This was also a new 2K scam. And it had like a new interview with the actress that gets her head smashed in, gets frozen and everything, which is a good interview. And it's got Sean S. Cunningham on Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, which is a great interview as well. And it's got a new audio commentary with Todd Farmer and Peter Bracke. So this has got some great stuff on it. New introduction with Kane Hodder. But this Arrow Video edition right here, this was a 2K scan from the inner positive. Same thing, 4K restoration from the 35 millimeter camera negative. And this was not a fantastic 4K, but it still looked a lot better than this Blu-ray. And this adds, I think this one adds an audio commentary and I think one brand new special feature. So it's not as good as the Jason Goes to Hell Arrow Video edition, but it still adds something new. So this one, again, blows this release in the Screen Factory set out of the water. And next up, guys, I guess we can go to Freddy versus Jason. Right now, guys, this in the Screen Factory box set, it's the same Blu-ray that was available before. There's nothing different about this Blu-ray. I tried to say that with Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell, and people called me out on it. They said, no, Ken, those were new. And Freddy vs. Jason in the remake were the ones that they used the same old disc that they had done before from Warner Brothers. So nothing different here. They just got the same disc, put it in this box set, and called it a day. And as of right now, we have no upgrade for this, but we are supposed to be, guys. I've heard some heavy rumors and indication that we are getting Freddy vs. Jason on 4K from Arrow Video, and that kind of feels like, inevitable at this point, given what they've done so far. So at this point, I guess you can call this a win for Screen Factory, but it's still nothing new here. This is pretty much just a placeholder to have a complete box set, is all Freddy vs. Jason is in this box set. And then, guys, I think this might be the best upgrade from the Screen Factory set overall. And that is the remake. So this is the Screen Factory version, and just like Freddy vs. Jason, it's the same disc that had been done before, the exact same disc that Warner Brothers had done before. And that's all it was. So all the past, special features, all that stuff came out when the original Blu-ray came out, and that's the same disc that they put in the Screen Factory set. They did nothing to that disc. What Arrow Video did is they went back, they gave this a native 4K restoration, and they added a ton of spectacular special features. This is some of the best special features that Arrow Video has ever done. They interview the writers, they interview the director, and these are extensive interviews. I think the interview with the writers is like 40 minutes long. The director is like 20 minutes long. It's the same director that did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, Marcus Nispel. But yeah, you got all kinds of greats. You got brand new interview with cinematographer Daniel Pearl, and you got a killer new beginning exclusive video essay about why horror fans shouldn't fear remakes. So there's 4 really extensive new special features, and there's a new audio commentary with the writers as well. So this was a fantastic addition and a clear upgrade over this Screen Factory edition right here. But in addition to all that in the Screen Factory box set, you also do have a bonus disc right here, which has a ton of new special features, new interviews with Harry Manfredini, Sean Cunningham, all kinds of special features. So there's new special features on the movies themselves on those discs, and then there's the special features disc that has some extra stuff as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag, right? I mean, this is still a great set, but as these as these movies continue to get these upgrades, continue to get better additions, this set is kind of becoming a little irrelevant. Like there's a lot of movies in this set now that I'm not going to go to when I want to watch that particular movie on Blu-ray or 4K. Like if I want to watch Friday the 13th, I'm going to watch the 4K. If I want to watch part 2, I'm going to watch the 4K. Now, if I want to watch the features, which I've already watched, I'll pop in the Screen Factory edition. So there is a dwindling number of movies that I am going to reach for in this box set when it's time for me to get ready to watch those. And I feel like that number is going to get lower and lower as we progress and Paramount puts out more 4K. So, as of right now, I still think it's a solid set. I mean, you got the first 4K scans. The part where this is really going to be like inferior, the inferior version is when you're talking about those New Line films. And, not everybody's a huge fan of those anyway, so maybe you don't care. But again, like you can get right now, guys, a Paramount 8-movie collection for $45 that has the same, scans and picture quality wise and all that stuff. You're just not getting the special features. So if you don't care about that stuff, that set could be just fine for you. But there you have it, guys. I don't know. This was just something I wanted to do. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't. But we talked about the Friday the 13th box set and its relevancy in 2025. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you have this in your collection? Is it still relevant to you? Do you still appreciate it for what it is? Let me know in that comment section below. Subscribe, like, turn on bell notifications for all future videos, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.